everyone knows we say. Everyone knows. Get a man despite any plan, he'll have to pay. All will won't bend, and honor we must defend. Our job may be tough, we'll call any bluff, we'll stick to the very end. Proud of the coat that we wear, but it's eager to share the work of mountain men.
I'm dying, Renfrew. Can't you land this infernal machine so I can die on the ground?
In the air.
Oh, my insides hurt terribly. That last did it.
Yes, I know. Here, try another one.
Mrs. Dill's air sickness remedy.
Go on, take a big shot. You've got nothing to lose.
Yes, I have. Look out below, little squirrels and beavers. Mrs. Dill's got the best of me, and you're liable to get the worst of me.
Well, now that you've got me believing you're awake, keep looking for that crashed plane.
Not a sign of it. Look, Renfrew, why don't we ask the inspector to transfer us back to our horses?
Well, if it'll make you feel any better, we'll strap a saddle on the motor next time we take off.
I don't want any more takeoffs.
X941 calling Sergeant Renfrew. X941 calling Sergeant Renfrew. Come in, Renfrew.
You know, even straight flying makes my stomach weak.
X941 calling Sergeant Renfrew. Come in, Renfrew.
Renfrew speaking.
Go ahead, Casey.
Say, Renfrew, how much longer are you going to look for the wreck of the gold plane? I think you're looking in the wrong direction.
Well, perhaps you're right, sir, but from the facts we obtained, we should be directly over the spot where the plane crashed.
Forget your search. If the plane was wrecked, it couldn't disappear. I think the gold is hijacked across the border. And stop at the mine for more information on the pilot and trace him to the border.
Yes, sir. Now, the inspector's wrong as usual.
Whoa!
Buzz, you keep at least 2,000 feet between you and the ground where gunfire won't reach you. Keep giving us your position by radio.
Yes.
You certainly look like the morning after. I guess you're not used to using your head.
Hello, Sarge.
Buzz Murphy, I haven't seen you since the big freeze at Magatalk, fella.
Take it easy, will you, Copper?
I still got that ring, eh? Why don't you throw that thing away?
I just finished paying for it. I didn't think you knew Buzz Murphy. He and Wood are just getting ready to take off with a $15,000 shipment of gold.
Are you flying the same route Kennedy took? Through the gap in Split Mountain?
Yes, but I'm flying high all the way. And Wood's pretty handy with a gun in case anybody starts pinging away.
I'm sorry we couldn't locate Kennedy's plane. Now, the inspector has an idea he may have hijacked the gold.
Well, that's silly. Kennedy was like a brother to me. I know he was shot down because I heard sounds like firing just before his radio quit, like I told you.
I've been ordered to drop the search. I'm just as sure as you are that he crashed.
I have to go close to the mine office to find that bad connection.
You did it just in time. Wait till you get a load of what I just heard.
Well, I'm going right back to Morgan. Maybe you'd better tell me.
No, this won't wait. Sit down a minute. Children, Here it is. This is your Uncle Dinwiddie broadcasting again on amateur license WC 4681. I'm sure you will all be glad to know his health is improving fast on his vacation in this marvelous climate. Today, he'll tell you about the rich tortoise who is worth really $15,000 and who desired to change his place of residence. The tortoise told his friend Harry the Hare that he would ask the eagle to fly him immediately to his new home.
Don't do it, said Harry the Hare. Only a few days ago, your brother Tweety flew over the same mountain pass with the crow. Tweety disappeared, and even the flying fox detective has given up looking for him. But the tortoise didn't heed his friend's advice. He said, but the eagle flies stronger and higher than the crow. He will fly at least 2,000 feet above the rough ground. So the tortoise flew with the eagle, and while they were soaring in the air, the crow said to the eagle, "Tortoise is good eating." "That's hard," replied the eagle. "The rocks will soon crack the shell," was the crow's answer. And the eagle, taking the hint, let fall the tortoise on a sharp rock. And the birds made a hearty meal off the tortoise. The moral, dear children, is some people are so dumb, no new ideas ever get inside their hard shells. And until tomorrow night, dear, I will be seeing you. Tra-la-la.
Boss, you certainly had a swell idea when you hired Dinwiddie to listen in and play amateur broadcaster.
He's the best finger man in the business. Even if he didn't get us valuable information, he'd earn his money just for the laughs he has.
The crow ate the tortoise.
Well, let's go. We can use that $15,000 in gold.
Dinwiddie says he's flying 2,000 feet above ground level all the way. I don't think our rifle will bring him down that high.
I know. Maybe the beam will work. Where's Professor Lewis?
He's in his room working on his charts.
Go get him. We haven't too much time to get set up.
I tell you, the radio frequency beam won't work. Nobody but me can do it. All I needed was a little more time. But you had to get this university windbag in to develop my invention.
Well, we'll try it anyway, because he said he was ready. Now, you get your split of the gold, all the credit for inventing the beam. If it works.
No. Nobody but me is going to touch it.
Listen, I put a lot of dough into your beam, but what good was it to me if it only stopped orders dead at short distances?
But I was developing it all right for airplanes. Nobody can increase the power overnight.
You discovered a new principle for power wave transmission, but you couldn't advance it fast enough. So I paid plenty to have the best electrical brains in America brought up here. Professor Lewis.
Did I hear someone calling me?
Yes, Professor. It's all arranged for the test. An airplane's going to fly over the gap any minute now.
That's very nice of you. Thank you. Since you were anxious to know the present effectiveness of the beam, I checked my computations. The beam will be 97 3/10 efficient at a given range of 2,631 1/10 feet. A plane flying approximately 1/2 mile high will be brought down.
If we spot Kennedy's crash, I'll give you a holler.
Your tinkering won't make that beam carry any farther than I made it go.
You amaze me, Mr. Speedy. Here you have found something which any scientist would be proud of. Where the radio merely transmits sound waves through the air, you actually transmit power. I'm proud to be associated with you full credit. Come now. Don't you want me to help you increase its range?
Sure he does, Professor. Don't you, Speed Boy?
Getting to like flying, huh, Kelly? I say you even fly in your sleep. Hey, you know what? I dreamt I was a turtle, and a great big eagle had me. And put you in the soup. I suppose you turned turtle when we were flying upside down.
No. A funny guy on the radio was telling a fable. Once upon a time, there was a tortoise, and he had $15,000. Well, maybe it was only 10 grand.
I bet it was Indian money, you know, the kind they make out of tortoise shells.
No. Anyway, he asked this eagle to fly him
Over the border?
That's where we're going.
The plane will be here any minute now, Professor.
What about the pilot?
Oh, he'll bail out before he reaches the gap. The plane will fly itself by robot control. If the beam works, the government will certainly be proud of you. Just think what you're doing for humanity.
I'm glad to lend the government my help in the secret effort. But weighty consideration convinces me that humanity might best be served if science keeps out of warfare.
Nearing Split Mountain Gap. Weather clear, few clouds. Ceiling high.
Throw the switch.
Beats me how that dope figures he can short-circuit a magneto at that great height. I'd rather take a chance on our rifle again.
This is supposed to be government work.
Yeah, I know. But we don't want to lose that 15 grand.
Mr. Morgan.
No. The honor's all yours, Professor. This is a great moment in the defense of our country.
Then perhaps you, Mr. Speedy, to whom all credit is due.
No, you go ahead, Professor, but hurry.
Looks like someone's trying to signal us from below. Just saw a powerful light. Are you sure it wasn't the sun's reflection on some window?
I told you he couldn't make it work.
Nobody can live through that crash. I'd better mark it. Trees are pretty thick.
Good work, Professor. Pull the switch. Shut the roof. Get going with the truck.
Okay.
You sure you picked up those parachute markers?
Yeah, I got them in the truck.
Hey, get some of that brush. We'll tie it on the back here to wipe out the tire marks.
Howdy, lady. Want to rent a room?
No, thank you. I was told to come here and wait.
Late? Oh, no. Got plenty of rooms left. Ain't had a lodger in 5 full moons.
Did someone call for me?
Huh?
I said, did someone call for me?
No, but I would if I was younger.
You would what?
I guess all the boys would, too.
All the boys?
Yeah, I guess all the boys would fall for you. Too bad you're so hard of hearing.
I'm going to see if Whispering Smith has any horses. I came to borrow your horses.
Forces? Did the inspector say I could join the Royal Mounted Forces?
No.
Good. I look fine in my new uniform sitting on a horse.
That's what I want. Your horses.
Well, I hope I look half as good as you do while I get my picture took. Too bad I ain't got my horses here now. Say, there's a deaf girl over there. You savvy the sign language. Go over there and find out how many rooms she wants.
Will you please ask your deaf friend to throw his fit somewhere else?
Well, Whispering told me you were deaf.
And I thought you were deaf.
How many?
Would you ask him if my father, Professor Lewis, called for me before?
4? Oh, boy, ain't had a lodger in 5 months. Now here she wants 4 rooms. Well, why didn't she say so before instead of standing here asking about 4 rooms and trapping otter and that thing? But no, I ain't seen nobody looking for her.
Perhaps you'd better stay here in the inn and wait. I'll return later, and if your father hasn't arrived, well, I'll do all I can for you. Miss?
Miss Lewis. Thank you. That's awfully kind of you. Sergeant.
Renfrew. Renfrew.
I think he did.
Did what?
I think he did fall for you.
What did that crash? Well, that's funny.
Yeah, terribly funny. You enter me in a walking derby just to show me some scenery. Don't look now, but there's a clue behind you. The clue is still behind you.
You're right.
You mean it is a clue?
The plane's magneto head with all the points short-circuited.
Where's the airplane that goes with it?
Well, I dropped 2 parachute markers. Sure, I'm looking at the spots.
But the spots are in your eyes.
Come on, Kid Bunyan. I lined up that road from the air. We'll see where it leads.
Yeah, maybe it's on the road.
A rubberneck wagon for your rubber legs?
Alley-oop, fall in line, get in step, get some pep, doing fine. Alley-oop, alley-oop, better march or we'll both be in the soup. You'd better shake a leg, you know there is no time for rest. We better keep a-moving, now come on, stick out your chest. Alley-oop, fall in line, alley-oop, come on pal, alley-oop, alley-oop, alley-oop. Get along, sing a song, alley-oop, alley-oop. Lift your head, now you walk like your feet are full of lead. You're bouncing and you're limping and you're hopping like a toad. Now get yourself together as we both go down the road. Alley-oop, fall in line, alley-oop, come on pal, alley-oop.
Maybe we could ask a policeman how to find that plane you say you saw. Are you sure you heard Murphy on your radio?
Yes, and you were asleep as usual.
And you're sure you saw the wreckage?
And you were still asleep.
Yeah, well, the difference between us is that when I sleep, I shut my eyes.
But not your mouth. Did you hear something?
Yeah, an echo rolling around the empty space between your ears.
Here comes that echo you couldn't hear, Kelly. Hey, maybe we can thumb a ride. Let me show you. Why, it's Miss Lewis. That's the best tasting dust I've ever eaten, Renfrew. You certainly stopped the women dead. Well, she wanted to stop, but one look at your pen and she got scared, Frankenstein. Come on, we're going to find that plane. If we depend on your eyes, I'll be tripping on my long white beard.
Come in. I'm glad to meet you, Miss Lewis. My name's Morgan. You'll find your father in there. Here, I'll take your coat.
Thank you.
Madeline.
Hello, Dad.
Oh, how are you, dear? I'm sorry I couldn't meet you. Mr. Morgan said I couldn't spare the time.
Oh, that's all right, Dad. My, but this is certainly elaborate equipment for the woods.
Yes, it is.
She thinks Sergeant Renfrew was too picturesque for words. How you going to keep her from talking, boss?
Easy. Nobody at the university knew they were coming here. When he finishes the job, maybe neither one of them will talk. It's an old pirate custom.
I get it. When the pirates buried gold treasure, they buried the diggers in the holes they dug.
You catch on. Well, I hope you brought all the electrical data the professor needs for his work.
Yes, I have it right here.
Fine.
There you are. But why all the mystery about this, Dad?
We are perfecting a defensive weapon against airplanes for the government.
You should be proud of your father, Miss Lewis. He brought on a plane with that radio beam. No one else has ever been able to do it.
My dear Mr. Speedy, why the levity this time?
You fool. You're not working for the government. You're the trigger man for a gang of hijackers. There was a pilot and guard in that plane flying a load of gold. You bumped them off.
Bumped them off? Bumped them off? Did he mean that I was instrumental in effecting their death? Then you lied to me. Constantly. I shall inform the police immediately. I'm innocent of any wrongdoing.
Do you think the police will believe you?
Of course they will. All he has to do is tell them the truth.
Your father got paid plenty. He worked for a pretty tough gang. How are you going to explain that? Your father killed 2 men. The law around his neck faster than it will ours. Now go on, call the police. Well, I'm sure that the professor doesn't want his daughter thrown in jail as an accessory to the crime. Do you, Professor? Now, if your father will play ball with us a little longer and increase the range of the beam, we'll see that he gets home okay and the police will be none the wiser.
Please, don't call the police, Madeline.
And don't talk, because you'll be talking a rope around your old man's neck.
Perhaps you're close to the house, boss.
Shut off the generator and keep the girl and her father out of here. How do you do?
We're looking for a plane that crashed around noon yesterday. Did you hear it go over the pass?
No. Maybe some of my friends did. Come in.
Thanks.
Some of the boys came up for a little shooting party. Say, any of you fellas hear a plane fly over here yesterday at noon?
That bull moose made me chase him miles before I knocked him off, but I didn't hear no plane.
Well, I see you had good luck.
Yes, some of the boys are pretty good with their guns. Butch, bring those pelts over here. This fella led me around this circle for hours, but I finally got him, about 2 miles from here.
Yes. White fox rather hard to catch sometimes. Well, I better be going. Glad Miss Lewis finally found a friend.
Yeah, she arrived okay. I hope she enjoys her visit. Well, I'm sorry we couldn't help you find your plane. Come again sometime.
Well, what's so suspicious about a ring? The dime stores sell 1 million of the same pattern.
Morgan was lying. There hasn't been a white fox caught south of the Dawson country for years. And that's 500 miles from here.
Well, maybe that white fox had a pair of those roller skates you were talking about. Hey, you take my grandpa for a bargain. There was a skater.
He should be still skating from the looks of you, Kelly.
We are ready to make the low voltage test. Please start the plane.
Watch out! You killed my rabbit down there. Help!
Oh. I'm sorry. I was rattled. You shouted down there, and I turned the beam down. I wouldn't have done that for anything in the world.
How was the test, Professor?
Oh, it was successful. I believe that in a few more days we will finish our work and you will have the shooting range you asked for.
That's fine. Perhaps then we can have a little celebration.
A man's here again, boss. The yellow stripe?
Don't you think you better knock off for the night, Professor? We boys want to use this place for a meeting.
Oh, very well.
Plug him. He knows too much.
I was only trying to help you.
Nobody chases the Mountie, always in the lead, performing his noble duty. That's the Mountie's creed.
So you're doing your noble duty, eh? You spent all your time reciting to yourself?
Well, no, sir. Sometimes I recite for the girls.
Tuffy Mountie. Poetry and women.
Hello, Inspector. Kelly, get me a fresh horse. We're going to round up that gang that crashed the planes.
Where'd you find them?
At the hunting lodge. They've got some queer machinery and enough electrical equipment to light up an entire city.
Right in the middle of the woods?
Yes, sir.
What do you want?
Tell your friends we've got the place surrounded and to give up quietly.
You mean my wife? What has she done now?
Open up the laboratory door.
What laboratory? Oh, you can't go in there.
Why not?
It's my wife's room.
Come on.
And she's trying to sleep in there. Everything's all right, Ma. Now you can go back to sleep.
My friend the sergeant isn't drunk. He's just been having a little trouble with his eyes of late.
Used to go blind that way myself in the snow. One time I saw little blue devils eating taffy apples.
Renfrew hasn't been himself lately, Inspector. He says he saw the crashed plane, but when we walked to the place, it wasn't there. He gets spots before his eyes, buzzing sounds of electrical motors in his ears. Confidentially, I think he's been flying too much. Now, if I were you, Inspector, well, that is, I mean to suggest, sir, that you should send him back to his horse. I like flying, but I'll be glad to get back to my horse, too.
Don't take it too hard, old man. Many people have been known to recover from mild forms of dementia and illusions.
Well, you may think I'm crazy, but I tell you I saw it. Oh, what's the use? I'll solve this case if I have to look
into every bedroom in the Dominion?
Hope we don't have to move so fast again. Come on, we got a lot of work to do on that sliding roof.
Boss, the mine ain't gonna ship any more gold by plane. Don't you think we got enough and ought to settle down for a while?
What's the matter, Gary? You got the Jim Jabs? Just because one yellow stripe stuck his nose in the other place? We'll get him. He wouldn't have gotten away if it hadn't been for that crazy Speedy.
Yeah, that's another thing. After you beat up on him, he swore he was going to get you.
He's harmless. But he'd better work fast because we're going to rub him out along with the other party. Just as soon as we find out we don't need him anymore.
I'm getting dizzy circling the same spot for 10 straight times. This is where I sighted Murphy's ship. I've got a hunch I'll get a clue. And I've got a hunch I'll get a cold.
Calling Sergeant Renfrew. Calling Sergeant Renfrew.
Renfrew speaking. Come in, whoever you are.
Listen carefully. Buzz Smith's plane was crashed by a radio beam perfected by Professor Burton Lewis of Norwood University.
Kelly, listen to this.
Lewis is working for a man who goes under the alias of Morgan, and you can capture them at...
Where are you located? Who are you? Come in. This is Sergeant Renfrew calling. Come in, whoever you are. Renfrew speaking. Where are you located? Who are you? Come in. This is Sergeant Renfrew.
Now keep on calling, Mountie. He can't hear you. This little squealer has gone to join his rabbit.
That's great, Sergeant. I'll be glad to have you fly a shipment of gold for us, but why do you want to transport it?
Frankly, this case has me pretty much licked.
I figured that the same route Murphy took, we might pick up some clues.
Well, I hope you do. We've been afraid to send the gold. Now we've accumulated over $20,000 worth.
The fewer employees you tell about this, the better. I'd like to keep my plans secret.
See you at noon tomorrow.
Goodbye, Sergeant.
Station WZ4681. Children, this is your Uncle Dinwiddie again. Once upon a time, there was a smart monkey who saw a juggler keep some objects in the air. I will do the same thing he did. So he practiced with coconuts and really became quick. But the monkey became over-ambitious. He asked the superintendent of all the monkeys to pile up 20,000 coconuts, and he would see how long he could keep them in the air the following day at noon. All the animals came to see the performance. Pretty soon the monkey had the sky black with coconuts, but he had to run here and there trying to keep them in the air. The animals started to applaud, but the sun got into Jocko's eyes, and the coconuts crashed down on the smart monkey. The moral, dear children, is don't try to do too many things at one time, or you'll go nuts in the cocoa.
So that smart monkey Renfrew is going to fly $20,000 worth of gold tomorrow noon.
Hello.
Sergeant Renfrew, don't fly that gold tomorrow. You'll be killed.
No, nothing will stop me. Who are you? Operator! Operator! It's Sergeant Renfrew, the Mounted Police. Trace that call. It's important. Hey, what's up? Another message. Someone's warning me not to fly that gold tomorrow. Do you know who it was? No, it was rather a high-pitched, peculiar sort of a voice.
Yeah, I know the kind you mean. Hey, fellow on the radio's like that. And he tells the funniest fables. In fact, he told one today about a smart monkey who tried to juggle 20,000 coconuts in the air.
20,000 smart monkey?
Yeah, he couldn't keep them in the air, so down they crashed.
Crashed, huh?
Constable Kelly speaking. Yeah. Hello?
Oh, you traced the call to Yukon Inn? Yes, let me talk to him. Hello, Whispering. Did someone just use your phone?
Home? What am I doing home? Well, it's the Yukon Inn. I live here.
Someone just used your phone.
I say? Ah.
I'll have to write him a note.
Well, that's better than talking on that thing. Someone may be listening in.
Say, everybody seems to know my so-called secret. First, a mysterious voice calls and warns me not to fly that gold tomorrow, and then that radio ham calls up and talks about a smart monkey flipping 20,000 coconuts in the air. Say, he must be tipping off his gang about me.
You know, I can understand how Smart Monkey would fit you, but where do the 20,000 coconuts come in?
Coconuts? Slang for dough, mazuma. Money to you. Get that radio operator's address and fetch him in for questioning. Take Whispering Smith along. He knows this country.
Okay.
Kelly, couldn't have been you who talked?
Why, Renfrew, you know no one could pump me for information. Why, not even Matt O'Hara.
Yeah.
Come in. Come in, come in. Well, come on. Oh, you're in. I didn't see you. No, nobody used my phone today. If they did, they owe me a nickel. I sent from a new uniform to the mail order house. Will you see me with it on? Oh, dear boy, here's where we get a drink. Here's the place. Hey, where's the bartender? I want a drink. Am I high? You want rye? Well, I'm a teetotaler myself. These drunks used to come in here and bust up all my valuable furniture. Can't get nothing here. Go on, I got work to do.
Hey, take it easy, bud.
Don't push me. Oh, you're pushing around.
Well, nobody, just...
You're not drunk.
Oh, smart guy, huh?
What's the idea of putting on the act?
Just this.
you get out of here, I'll fill you full of holes. Let's get out of here. Hey, Molly! I just made up all the beds. You boys don't have to sleep on the floor.
Hello, Mr. Hawthorne. Well, you're right on time. Is the shipment ready? All we have to do is load the boxes in the plane. $20,000 worth of gold? That's right. I'll fly over the gap. Okay. Keep us advised of your whereabouts by the radio. Let's get loaded.
So the zebra replied he was a golden horse with black stripes, and not a black jackass with yellow stripes. I will soon be ready to race any of you with a big load on my back, said the zebra. Keep tuned to Uncle Dinwiddie, children, and he will tell you all about the big race.
It won't be long now. Hey, boss, Doc's monkeying around with a beam. He just took a tube out of it.
I refuse to be the means of killing any more pilots.
Oh, yeah? Keep your gun on him. Put the tube back. And plug him if you don't bring down Renfrew's plane. Right.
The race is on. But the fool zebra loses because the load is too much for him.
And he turns out to be a yellow striped jackass after all.
Renfrew's a smart pilot. Yeah. I noticed he had something hidden in the cockpit. He's too smart to fly the gap route. He'll turn off when he gets near.
Stand by, little children. There has been a mistake.
The zebra didn't lose the race due to his heavy load, but because the judges discovered he didn't run over the agreed race course. And that, my children, is a winter bedtime story I picked up when I listened to the airlines one evening at dark.
So he's too smart to fly over the gap in the beam. Well, what are you going to do, boss? I'm going to fix it so Renfrew will fly right over this house. What's his call numbers? X941. X941, calling Sergeant Renfrew. X941, calling Sergeant Renfrew. Come in, Renfrew.
Renfrew speaking. Go ahead, Casey.
The inspector has been informed that the gang you're looking for, headed by Professor Lewis, is trying to make a getaway by plane. You'll find him somewhere near McKinsey Mountain. That is all. Now, you and I will fly around McKinsey Mountain till we spot Renfrew. Then we'll let him chase us.
Over this place in the beam?
Yeah, and be sure to get Renfrew, not us.
Don't worry. Just keep plenty of distance between you. I'll take care of the doc if he tries any monkey business.
I'm in love with the lady in the cloud. The twinkle in her eye puts silver lining in the sky. Far above, over all the milling crowd, a world that's all our own, where we can always be alone. Though there's clouds in my heart, her smile breaks them apart. I'm in love with with the lady in the clouds, and hope the lady in the clouds will someday be in love with me.
Say, where did you come from? Don't tell me you're my mysterious lady of the clouds.
I'm only here because you foolishly didn't heed my warning.
Oh, so you're the person with that funny Charlie McCarthy telephone voice.
Please be serious. You mustn't fly through the gaps. We'll be shot down.
By a power beam?
How did you know?
Are you warning me because you like me, or to save your father from the law?
From the law? My father was tricked into...
Killing my friend, Buzz Murphy, and a guard. And how about crashing Kennedy's plane and the stealing of 2 gold loads?
My father's one of the best-known scientists in his country.
I'll bet he's getting paid plenty by that gang. They killed one of their own men just as he radioed me a tip-off about your father.
They were fooling you. I was told you mounted police were intelligent. You don't seem to be able to do any thinking.
I'm thinking nice things about you, though. And I'm also thinking how to round up that gang.
If I tell you where they're hiding, will you promise to let my father go free?
No, but if you'll tell, it'll be easier on your father, especially if he's innocent.
Right to the left. We'll get him to follow us.
Mackenzie Mountain. So the inspector was right for once.
Work. It's Morgan, the head of the gang.
Thanks. Maybe we won't have to go over the gap after all.
He's got the Lewis girl with him. Good. We'll get them both.
They're getting closer.
Remember, Doc, I want you to get this Mountie Wren through the first time.
Here they come, Doc. Well, there's our place. Why don't you fly over the beam? Renfrew's too close on my tail. I'm afraid the beam will get us. I'll have to put some distance between us first. Okay, give it all the throttle you got. I'll let him have a couple of shots. That talking dame won't have a chance to bail out when the beam hits him.
double-crosser. Brought along an emergency magneto box, shielded by lead. That's why I wasn't afraid of the beam. So you were a straight man for the police, eh?
Oh.
But my father destroyed the beam forever. That proves that he doesn't want any more men killed.
Well, you sent me out to get this animal, man, so I took along coyote trap. It looked like a mouse trap would have done just as good.
Who's this masquerading man?
Get my man? I'll say I always get my man. But say I'm getting tired of being a constable. When do I get to be a sergeant?
Just a minute. We'll get to your case soon. Professor Lewis, I'm authorized by headquarters to make the final decision in this case.
My father shouldn't be sent to jail.
Jail? Why, we owe you both a big vote of thanks. We'll consider the case closed. Professor and your daughter are free to go.
Thank you, Inspector.
Inspector? Say, I don't want to be an inspector, especially after what Renfrew said.
I hope I'm not hearing right.
Right? No, wrong. Renfrew said the inspector's almost always wrong. Say, I want to be a sergeant. Renfrew! Renfrew!